Are there external forces on the market that you may not be considering? Hey, my name is Robert Mack, and today for the market update, I want to spend some time talking about external forces on the actual Orange County market. Now, this may be challenging for me to talk about and actually convey this message, but in my head it makes a lot of sense, and I want to have you thinking a bit deeper about the market. So a lot of people, when they talk about the market, they're considering the inventory for homes available for sale, the interest rates, the unemployment rates, anything going on politically, elections. They are reading the newspaper, they are online on social media, and they are reading things that are talking about whether the market is going up or it's going down or it's flattening out. And consumers put a lot of emphasis on what they read and what they hear. And I think the one thing, as I talk to a lot more buyers and sellers, is very rarely do the consumers ever consider that margin of human or agent error. So what do I mean by that? Well, here's the deal. Let's say that hypothetically you live in a neighborhood and you're thinking about selling your home. And you kind of drag your feet a little bit. You've thought about it. Let's say it's February and now we're approaching October and you're like, man, I really got to sell my home. There's still some juice in the market. And then all of a sudden, the next day you wake up and there are 4, 5, maybe 6 new listings in your neighborhood. Now, although that sounds unlikely, that kind of stuff happens all the time. In fact, in my specific neighborhood, in the last 1 week, 4 homes popped up for sale. And that's because I think a lot of people are starting to realize that the market is shifting. And although nationally home prices are predicted to rise, in certain pockets of Orange County, we're seeing home prices flatten out and in some areas actually even declining. So we're seeing a rise in inventory. So what do you think is going to happen, regardless of whether the market is strong or weak or whatever you're reading in the media or in the newspaper? What do you think is going to happen if 4 or 5 or 6 homes go up in your neighborhood that are very similar to yours? Well, supply and demand, if there's a lot of inventory, demand for those specific properties will fall. And so one of two things are going to happen. Either A, you are not going to put your home on the market because you don't want to get involved in a bidding war for the lowest price property that sells in your area, or you're going to have to list because you have to sell for a specific reason, and you may have to take slightly less or significantly less because there's other properties available for buyers. And at the end of the day, the buyer's going to want to zero in on the home that looks the best and that is the best deal. So that's an amount of human error that we can't ever plan for. Consider this. What if you live in a neighborhood where there's been a home that's been listed on the market for 3, 4, 5, 6 months? That is also a very common situation. And the seller begins to get closer to the point where they have to move. And they finally get frustrated, fed up, and desperate. And they slash the price of the house by $50,000, $60,000, $70,000, and then it finally sells, right? But what if that home sold for 5, 6, 7% below what it should have sold for due to agent mismanagement, due to not pricing the home right from the very beginning? It's sitting on the market, getting stale, and finally selling for a ridiculously low price. The challenge now is that you, as the home seller, must deal with that recently closed home as it affects the value of your home. So if you are a buyer or a seller, I understand that I gave primarily seller examples, but you can flip-flop those. As a buyer, what if a home sells for a ridiculously great price, and had you bought 1 or 2 or 3 months sooner than that home had sold, you might have been able to get that same property for $20,000 or $30,000 less. So one thing that everybody needs to keep in mind is that right now the market still has a lot of juice in it. There is a good amount of inventory, but not so much that the demand is falling. Their interest rates are historically low. Really great time to take advantage of those low interest rates. The one biggest challenge is everybody believes that there's a recession coming that's going to just cripple the market, and that is not the case. That is not what we are seeing. That is not what we are hearing. In fact, many economists predict that the prices of homes nationally will continue to rise for the next 12 to 24 months. The challenge becomes, are you in an area that is thriving? Are you in an area that is flattening out, or are you in an area that is declining? Every micro market is different. And again, if you are thinking about buying or selling, You must also consider the fact that there are human beings out there that may be doing something in the neighborhood you're thinking about doing something in that could potentially derail your plans. So that's the market update for this month. I hope you found value in it. Obviously, every homeowner is different. Every market is different. If you have questions, concerns, you want to pick my brain about the market, and you want to talk about your goals, whether buying, selling, or investing, we're always here for you. My contact information is either on the screen or somewhere in that blog post, so you can reach out to me. If you have any video ideas you ever want me to talk about, please send those my way. I'm always looking to put out content that is relevant to the people watching my videos. If you found this on social media, give me some social media love. And until next time, happy selling.